Hello everybody, Lenny 6'5" here. Just a quick video on my fire lighting kit. This fire lighting kit I've got, and I'm going to show you, is I keep it in the top of my Bergen all the time. Same place, so I know where it is, so I know how to get to it. Nothing special about it really. There's not everything in there that everybody uses, but see what you think. What I'll do is I'll show you the container that I keep it in. I mean, some's got smaller ones, some's got larger ones. It depends, whatever your preference is for lighting fires. So what I'll do is I'll do a close-up of the container, and then I'll go through each bit. Okay? That's the container that I keep my fire lighting kit in. It's just a simple Tupperware container that I got from Asda. I think it was about £1. Okay? So what I'll do now is I'll set the camera up and then go through each individual item and what it does and why I use it. Okay guys? Right guys, here you go. I mean the first thing you can see is my flint and steel thing, my ferro rod. This was quite cheap, I think it was about £4. Creates great, I mean I'm left-handed, but it creates good sparks. Seem to get better sparks from using it underneath, drawing upwards. Personally, I don't like that, and the only reason I don't like it is because I don't feel like I've got a grip of the rod properly, so I can get good pressure. I'd rather the handle be a bit longer, but I'm going to go to the Bushcraft show this year, so I'm going to have a look at the ones that people have made, and I'm going to upgrade this one to a better one, something that I can hold in my hand and get a good strike on it, and a better striker than that. But it does work, it's never let me down. This is the one that I had when I was in the army, and yeah, did quite well. The other thing I've got is a waterproof container with a striking thing on the bottom, striking little ferro rod. It does work that, but not as good as the ferro rod. You've got to really catch it right. But it does spark, but not as good as the rod. But inside, what I did is bit of cotton wool in the top, and then inside I've got windproof matches. Used to get issued these in the army as ration packs. Really good when it's blowing a gale. The other thing that I've got in here is, you know, the trick candles you can get, that you light them and you go, right, blow the candles out, and the poor kid blows all the candles out thinking that the wish is going to come true, and then they all relight and the kid goes like, oh my god. So I got them. These are alright. You know, if you're in a indoor situation where if the gust of wind blows it out, it'll relight again. I have tested them. Doesn't take much to blow them out, but they do reignite. But I've got 3 of them in there, just in case. And they're all right for what they are. I think they were £4. And as you can see in there, 3 candles, and the rest is Stoneproof matches. And when I bought the Stormproof matches, they came in that container, and the striker was on the top. And I thought, well, if that gets wet, the striker on the top will get wet and soggy, and the matches won't strike. So what I did is I took the striker off that, and I put it inside there, inside the lid. So now I know for a fact, with confidence, because firelighting, it's all about confidence. I know that's waterproof, and I know that if I get that out and strike the matches on the inside of that, I know they'll work. It'll not be soggy. So those are my matches and my candles. These are Hexi blocks. I've just put them in bags just to, I don't know, it's just an habit I've got. They come with they're just firelighters. And what I normally do is break this into 4 quarters and just use a quarter. And then if I can get it, light it in me, like open my jacket up, get inside and light it, and then put it on the sticks or whatever. I carry 2. I carry 2 in my firelighting kit, and then I've got the gas cooker, the Examine cooker, British Army issue, and I keep that in my Bergen as well, with spare ones of these. So in my firelighting kit I just have 2 of those. In this bag I've got cotton buds soaked with, not soaked with Lipsil. Lipsil rubbed into it. Put loads of Lipsil on my fingers and then worked it in, opened the cotton bud up and rolled it back up. And that's it. And that's just alcohol wipes. And I wrap them up in that alcohol wipe. And it just keeps them moist. And if all else fails, I can use the alcohol wipe as well. Put the alcohol wipe on underneath the sticks, and that catches a flame, and that'll light as well. And I've got 2 alcohol wipes. You can get them from any chemist. The thing I've noticed with these is that when you unwrap it and unfold it, it'll catch a spark straight away, or it'll light straight away, but it sort of like flares up, and then you're just left with like a cloth residue. But they do ignite really well, but you need a combination of things to keep it going. I bought some of these jute tinder cords. Again, cheap. I've got the rest of them in the cupboard, and this is what they look like. And then all I did was pull the strands apart like such, and then pulled each and every one of those strands apart. And then once I've pulled them all apart, they look like this. And I keep this in here. There's plenty in there, and I just take a pinch, pull it off like that, and then I combine that with the cotton buds or the Examine blocks, anything, or even a thicker strand of the jute cord, and it does catch a light. It does ignite really well. Holds a spark really well, catches a flame, and keeps it burning. Now, in combination with the, I mean, sometimes I'll just start a fire and just use one cotton bud, and that's all I'll need. But if it is a bit windy, I'll use a combination of the jute stick and the cotton bud. But this is what we used to use when we were kids. Now, all I've done basically is, do you know the soft brushes that you can get from any hardware shop? I'm sure your mum or your nana will have had one in her house. It's just soft brushes. And what I did is got a soft brush and I've cut them off. In fact, I cut the whole brush head off, all that off, and I've got the remainder of the brush head in a bag in the garage. And when I need some more, I just put some more in. So if you get out into a wood, the reason we did this is because sometimes when you get out into the woods, like yesterday when we were putting the hammocks up and just testing the hammocks, we go out in the woods and most of the wood was damp, and it's hard to light the tinder stuff. So this just gives me, I know for a fact that that's bone dry, and I know that if a spark lands in that, or even if I just put a naked flame to it with a lighter or something, then that will go up. Now, what we used to use when we were kids, I don't know if you can remember them. Do you know the old armchairs, the big armchairs that like your nan and your granddad used to sit in, and also the old mattresses with the springs, and then they had like a cover, and then it looked like coconut fibres, a bit like that, and then they had another bit of cover, and then the mattress cover itself. Well, when people threw the mattresses away, we used to cut the mattress cover with a knife, rip it apart, and get to the coconut bit, the coconut fibres in the mattresses in the armchairs, and we used to pull it out in handfuls and put it in his pocket, and that used to really spark, used to really ignite, and it's the same thing as that. So I got a soft brush, I think it was £1.50, and I cut all the bristles off. Another good thing in windy conditions, or even if it's really wet, is biking a tube. And all I've done with these is I've just cut them into strips. Biking a tube, it's rubber. Like that with a naked flame, and it will ignite. It will ignite really well, and that can be taken straight out of water, and it'll still light. A couple of strips of them, if you've got some wet tinder or something like that, and it will ignite, and it will burn, and it burns quite well. So that's if it's really wet. Now, everybody carries lighters. Everybody carries lighters. There's different kinds. I think I've got one in my pocket for when I'm out for a smoke. There's these old cheapo ones that are flint operated. Inside there's a flint, and you can see the spark. Now, you can use these, they're great, but when they get wet they get rusty and they don't really work, and the thingy. And then you've got these ones. Now this one's, it's sort of like a battery operated one. I don't know if you can see it, but you might see the spark go across in the centre of those two cogs. I don't know, I don't want to get too close. Well, they're both fueled on gas. Now the thing is with gas lighters, in the winter, gas, you've got to keep these in your pockets because the gas, for some, I don't know what it is. I don't know how to explain it. Gas is really, it goes very sleepy. Gas, like in the winter, if I struck that in the winter, the flame would be really small. The gas sort of goes like inert and it goes like lazy. But in the summer, I go like that and it would spark and the flame would be higher because of the pressure. The gas is warm inside the liquid. If this stops working or it runs out of gas, I can still take this little wheel out here. And inside, I'll see if I can take it out. Right. In there is the flint. And what you can do with it, you can use it to get sparks. I think, now some lighters that pulls out. And what you can do, don't know if you can see it, right in the back there. You might just see the flint. And you can actually use it to get a spark if the gas runs out. So that's the good thing about them. So I mean, you could have one of those. Could have one of those. For when it runs out of gas, you can use the striker to get sparks. And then there's this one. I've picked this one because it's hard to blow out. So I've got one of each. When the gas, I mean, depends what situation you're in. If you use these and all the gas is gone, that's no good, because I think the electric, or the it's not much of a spark, but that would be useless. I just might as well throw that away. But at least with those, if the gas has all run out, you can still use the striker to get a spark. Do we use these first until they run out of gas and then use the other bits? Or do we use the other bits first and then save these until we really need them? I don't know. It's personal preference, depends what situation you're in. And then I saw this. I got this, and all it is it's just a waterproof little Zippo lighter. That's all it is. Get a spark. Same again, when the fuel's, it doesn't hold much fuel that, but once the fuel's gone, I can still put a flint in there and use that to get a spark. And sometimes a good spark's all you need. So if the situation calls for it, I'll use that. There is other ways of making fire. There's the bow and drill, there's flint and steel, the flint and put a bit of cloth on the top and things like that. A magnifying glass, I've not gone that far in. I've got this, say I've used everything in there, and I'm on my last straw, or I'm out hiking or something was terribly wrong, and all I've got is what I've got on me. Now, what you can do is your bootlaces in your boots. You can take your bootlaces off and make one of these. It's just, obviously, any bootlace will do, and it's a loop in each end. And what you do is you get yourself a stick, your drill stick, whatever you're doing. You can carve the notch in a sharp rock, and then what you do is you get your drill board, put your drill board on the floor, put these in your thumbs like that, put the string in the top, and then when you pull down, you can keeps your hands, instead of going up and down the stick, back up to the top, back down, it keeps that constant going, keeps your hands in the same place. And then obviously the stick at the bottom rubs in your board, gets ashed together, and then when you speed it up, you get a nice coal that you can use on any bit of tinder, old bird nests. I've seen a lot of people on YouTube. They'll get their tinder together and make a bird's nest, and then they'll put the tinder or the spark or the coal into that and then blow it. What you can do is use any bird nest. Use any old bird's nest out there. There's loads of bird nests that birds have obviously used. The eggs have hatched, the chicks have grown up and they've flown. Old bird's nests. You can use them. There's also, it depends on what time of the year. The bow and drill, again, you can use your bootlace again to construct the line for the bow. Get a bit of a curved piece of wood, tie one end of your bootlace to the on and then over, and then use your bow. Get that done. Be careful though, because sometimes it'll snap. But what I'll do is this method, the hand drill and the bow drill, when I go out on my first overnighter, I'll do them. It's better to show you than that. So that's it really, guys. That's my firelighting kit. Some people's got more, some people's got less, but that serves me. What I used to use in the army was, because I had loads of it, was black boot polish, Kiwi boot polish, or any boot polish, and Duraglit. Duraglit comes in a tin like that, about the size of a small cup. Take the lid off and you just pull it out, and then you clean brass with it, rub it on, and then clean it with a cloth. Well, it's very very combustible. Pull it out, pull it up, just like using a cotton bud, and then strike a light to that and it goes up. Same with boot polish. You can get 2 fingers of boot polish, wipe it on sticks, wipe it on a couple of sticks, and then light it, and that will go up. But that's what I used to do at army. Boot polish and Duraglit. I used to have that in my Bergen, and that was enough, to be honest. So that's it, guys. That's my fire starting kit. That box goes in the top of my Bergen, so I know where it is, and I'll be taking this out when we go out on an overnighter. And what I'll do is, when I go out, I'll show you what each bit does. Okay, guys, thanks a lot for watching. Hope there's something in there that you like. Okay, happy camping.